Welcome to this hobby of ours. I am still lost in Indiana, somewhere around Carmel, still in the hallowed halls of Moyer Fine Jewelers, and I am very blessed to be having a quick little watch and chat, some watch yapping with Bill O'Brien. Thanks for joining the show, Bill.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. Great to have you. You are the watch guy. That's the word around the campfire, right?
Well, that's what they say. That's what they call me.
That is a pretty rad title. Formerly, you're the department manager plus buyer. Is that correct?
The buyer and the department manager for Moyer Fine Jewelers, for the watch department.
For the watch department. Awesome. So real quick, I like to ask guests, what was your very first watch?
My very first watch...
Or the first watch that was important?
The very first watch I had was a Seiko Pogue back when I was about 12 years old.
Yellow dial.
Yellow dial that sadly, because I didn't understand what I was doing, I destroyed it.
Oh,
and
wow.
I have no idea where I was today. I would give anything to have that watch back, but it's gone. But my first big boy watch, I've had Rolex and other things, but my first big boy was the Audemars Piguet WTM two-tone back probably late 90s. I got that. Great watch.
I'm gonna have to get a picture of that when we're done. And
it's an unusual watch.
Never
it's
heard
not
of
common.
It.
Yeah,
let's Google that, and I will insert.
And once
editorial
again,
staff will have it dropped in.
Yeah. Once again, I sold that and regret it to this day. So
watch regrets. We could spend a couple of days talking watch regrets. So before you worked at Moyer Fine Jewelers, what did you do before it?
I've been in the jewelry and watch industry for 40 plus years. I was in Michigan for a couple of years for a company called Roterman.
Okay.
And they were Rolex and Tag at that time. I worked on the West Coast in California in Glendale for a company called Classic Designs, and that's where I learned about the watch industry. Okay. We carried everything from Cartier, AP, Rolex. We had everything.
The Gambit.
The Gambit. We had every watch you could think of. And then I came here. I've been here 18 years.
Oh, wow.
And when I first came, the watch department was not in the best of conditions, not in the best of shapes, and I knew that I could make a difference. Okay. And they had maybe 6 brands.
Oh, all right.
And everything from Louis Erard to Raymond Weil. This is how long ago it's been.
Wow.
And Swiss Army. I mean, that was it. But not a whole bunch of stuff. And now we're 21 brands or so.
Yeah, it is legitimate. I come out here for the special event with Watch Time Magazine, had an absolute blast. Became first acquainted with you guys about a year ago when I came out for the TGV special event. Became friends with Derek and him, and just has stayed in touch with you guys. And you're on all of my videos as trusted supplier. You need a new watch, you need a pre-owned watch. Today's episode, I really wanted to focus on the pre-owned watches, because we've got some heavy weight. Looking to move some weight today. We got some of that on the table. And before we jump into these watches, one more question. Why be a watch buyer? I know why I love doing it. Why do you love doing it?
So it's interesting. I buy because that's part of the job. I'm a buyer so I can be a seller. It's different than, we have a unique business. We're not just transactional. We sell watches, but it's not the heart of it. The heart of it is we're enthusiasts. We love watches too. And so I have guys who come in weekly.
Yeah.
And we just talk about watches.
Like a support group. That's awesome. I need that.
It's almost like therapy. Yeah, almost like therapy.
Watch therapy with Bill.
I will tell you that the watch community is so well, they know so much. They're so well educated. I learn more from my customers than I do from the companies that I buy from.
Oh, wow.
And the difference, I think, is that I have to know something about all the brands, and I have customers who know everything about one watch or 2 watches, every nuance, and I love that because I get to learn about it, and that helps me to help the next customer learn about that watch.
Yeah, especially mega fanboys, of which I am one, and I can absolutely attest to that, because the very first time I came in last year, I came in the day before. I think we ended up talking for like 45 minutes, became fast friends just talking watches, so that was an absolute blast. And thank you so much for letting me play with the big boy watches today.
There's some good ones there today.
I'll do some inserts. Rolex full gold bluesy, half off. I'm just kidding. I know what dad chasing me.
I just got to adjust the price. You can have it half off, but I get to remark it. That's okay.
Could you imagine Dad chasing me through the parking lot? There's no half off on the gold.
Yeah, he would. Then he'd chase me. So it's all right. And you're referring to Dan Moyer, the owner, so.
Yeah, legit. Super cool guy. I met him the first day I come in last year. Super cool guy. And then next up, we got the white gold, a bit of Patek for you. This is the annual calendar.
Correct.
Moon phase. And I have to say, the saying goes, you have to have a watch in hand to experience it. Unequivocally true, absolutely true. But all the more true with this, because I've seen this over the years, didn't think much of it when I saw pictures or videos. Putting it into my hands, it's just amazing. Just an amazing piece. I mean, that's probably on the nose, I realize, but I would have never known that had I not had a chance to, fumble around with it a bit.
The secret to any watch is you can get it on your wrist, see what it feels like, see what see what it does for you. Not what it does, but what it does for you. I think that's a key thing.
Oh, that's well put too. Well put. And of course, the heavy Chevy Platinum. I am rolling like I'm platinum, chocolate, semi-Tiffany, silver dial. I've seen these before, and they seem to lean more Tiffany. This one, for some reason,
More glacier.
more glacier, icy blue, just epic. I never would have thought I'd be in the market for it. I'm not financially, but having it in person, in hand, and I've had some time to spend with it. Those chocolate subdials that are basically rings going around the subdial, I gotta say, very attractive, sir.
These watch companies don't mess around. They make some pretty nice stuff.
I know, it's like precious metal. And we think Rolex is shifting their focus to precious metals, it seems.
From what I've heard,
Yeah.
and rumors have it, that they didn't launch a lot of new stuff this year at the show. They brought out the Bruce Wayne, the new GMT. They come up with great names. And it's the consumers that come up with the names like that.
I hadn't heard that one, the Bruce Wayne.
The Bruce Wayne, the Dark Knight. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an interesting watch. It's a good looking watch.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's not
Wasn't
something
spectacular.
new. It's not something excitingly new. They brought out a few other pieces, but I think their focus is really going to try to be increasing production of steel sport again, because
I've
the
heard
wait
that.
list is for subs and the wait list for GMTs is
Legendary.
pretty long. It's pretty long,
Legendary.
and I think the consumers are kind of getting a little fed up. I think they're tired of having to wait, or they're tired of having to buy something else to get on the list to buy the one they want.
Yeah.
And I've never found that to be a great formula for
Success.
well, not just success, but for having the consumer warm up to you and stay loyal.
Right.
Because now they're just standing in line waiting for the watch, and all the retailers are afraid, they're going to buy this and flip it.
Yeah.
So they want to. They're not punishing you, but they're making you pay a tariff. To buy the one you really want, which is tough for anything. I mean, the car industry is kind of the same thing right now. There's not enough cool cars that you want to buy. And I think the watch industry, not every brand, every brand has something, right? Like Omega has the Snoopy, and they have the new Bond, and they have the 321,
and the white dial, the regular white dial Speedy.
Which is, and it's frustrating for us because I was in Europe and I saw them in stores, but they're not here yet.
Oh,
so
wow,
it's a little bit of a frustration for the American market, and I think the Swiss, if they would just loosen up a little bit and give us some more product, we'd be happier.
In Rolex's defense, as my buddy informed me, they run 3 8-hour shifts 6 days a week. I think they're probably making as many as they can. You can double or triple it. It's never gonna.
It won't be enough. Everything they make, they sell, which is, it's a testament to the brand. It's a great brand. It's certainly, there's a reason that it has a crown.
Yeah.
They're the kings.
It's certainly kings of marketing. And some of the other brands I've noticed down in the case, you've got a really gorgeous Omega chronograph, rose gold down there as well. So
The green, yeah.
So, well, actually, that's the all gold new Omega.
Yes.
I meant in the pre-owned
the pre-owned case, yes.
The older Omega one. So, when it comes to what does Bill look for to stock those cases? Because we've got Patek, we've got Rolex, we've got Omega. There's a couple other brands over there, and I imagine there's some consistency with the other brands you represent as an AD. What do you hunt for to put into that case for your pre-owned customers?
It's interesting. I have a lot of guys who will buy a watch from us and then well, I call it a fickle wrist. Within 3 to 6 months, they're trading it for something else. They just can't seem to hang on to a watch. They call it a Teflon wrist. Nothing sticks on it, right?
Nothing sticks. I love it.
So I've seen that when I look for watches, first I want to see something. I like interesting things, but I also like things that are very sellable. I don't just sell out of the case. We also have e-commerce,
all right.
Which our e-commerce guy Derek takes care of. I will tell you, I travel a lot with Derek for watches. Great travel companion, great eye, understands brands, trends. He follows trending online, so he understands that part of the business.
Right.
Pre-owned, I like cool watches. I love things I've never seen before. I love things that I can't normally go out and buy as a brand. Like if I want a Dox or a Sin, there's not really a distribution for that in the U.S. That's
problematic. Those are great
and
brands.
Those are not expensive watches, but I like them.
Yeah.
I will. I don't like to buy things that are super cheap. Because they're everywhere. I don't
bit
need
too common.
Doesn't help. We will take almost every brand on trade.
Okay.
Depends what they're trading for.
So, all right. That makes sense.
But IWC is always good for the secondary market. Used Omega, fantastic in the secondary market. We do very well with that. Rolex pre-owned is that's just the best.
Yeah.
I'm able to provide. I just sold a watch this morning. I'm able to provide subs and GMTs and things like that. They're going to go for a little bit over retail because that's just the nature of the market.
Yeah, makes sense.
But if I'm able to get them, I almost always have a home for them afterwards pretty quickly.
Okay.
So
because you also what's the warranty that you bring on your?
We do 1 year on our most pre-owned. It's 1 year.
Okay.
Some is 2 years, depending on how we source them and what we've done to them.
What the item is? Okay.
Yeah. A lot of times we test every watch before it comes in and before it goes out. We want to make sure it's working properly. I don't like to buy problems, and I certainly don't want to sell problems.
Yeah, that's well put.
I don't want to sell a watch to a client and then have them be unhappy. It does nobody any good.
Yeah, because you've got watchmakers on staff, yes?
I don't have watchmakers on staff.
Okay.
I generally, if I'm doing a brand like somebody I deal with regular bracelets like Breitling or Omega, or we just brought Longines in, Glasuta, Tag. I will almost always, if I've got a service or watch, send it back to the original manufacturer. I have other sources. I have several watchmakers I also do business with who are Rolex certified. They'll do my Rolex stuff. Or
Gotcha.
I have guys who do Patek stuff for us. I like to do that because I know what I'm getting when it's done, and I can comfortably guarantee the watches for the consumers.
That makes sense.
I don't want to give anybody a bad experience. It's just not. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
For me.
Speaking of good experiences,
That's what we want.
Green Seamaster. I will not call this the seaweed. I refuse. This is the Green Machine. This is the watch I picked up from Derek last time I was out with you guys.
Is that the Packers watch?
Go Stillers.
There you go.
Go Stillers. So we have a sense of where you're at in the pre-owned.
Yeah.
So when it comes to buyers, they can either ring you up, they can purchase via the website.
We do that, yeah.
And or make the trek, come into the store, which is certainly worth it.
It's worth coming in. We have a great staff. We are beyond selling. We are enthusiasts. We love our products. And sometimes it doesn't result in a sale, and that's okay. It's not always about that. At the end of it all, we do run a business. We'd love to have you buy watches. If we have out-of-state clients, e-commerce guys, Derek will talk to you about that. He generally handles that part of it. I handle everything within the state boundary of Indiana for the most part. And I have clients who drive in to see us. I'm always surprised somebody comes in 2, 3, 4 hours away to look at watches, and I'm like, wow.
Well, you are a hot spot in the Midwest, if I may say.
There's not, I don't have there's not a whole pocket of guys who do what we do. And even if you go to places like Chicago, where there's a bigger market, we do something a little bit uniquely different in that we, like I said, it's not just transactional. It's not just here's your watch, where's your money.
Yeah.
We know that there's a long-term relationship, and it's never. I always tell us, it's never your last watch. It's just your next, and there's always another one in the case that you'll like, and if not now, the next time.
Bring those Teflon wrists in. We love that here.
For sure.
All right, so usually at the end of some watch yapping, I like to hand the microphone metaphorically to the guest to give you an opportunity to share your thoughts with the Hobby of Hours community. Anything you'd like to say to future buyers, or anything that's on your mind that we've not covered?
You know, it's interesting. These Rolex guys, are awesome. right? And I always, in Patek, these are great watches. And so many customers ask a couple things. First, they ask, what's the best watch? And my answer is always, for what? For what purpose? It may be the best watch for something, but it may be not the best watch for you.
Right.
So I need to know, I like to know more about who the customer is so I can make sure they get what's right for them. There's guys who will sometimes buy something that's way out of what they need. It doesn't suffice. It may not solve what they think it will solve for them in their life.
Right.
The other thing is that never buy a watch, and Rolex and Patek and all these other high-end watches, never buy a watch for what you think it might be worth tomorrow.
All right.
Buy a watch that you love, and you won't sell it.
Buy what you love.
Guys, I've always regretted watches I've sold. I've had Rolexes, I've had Audemars, I've had Vacherons, I've had all these watches, and I don't need to sell them. But it's like, I just sell this thing, I'll get something else.
Yeah.
I like guys who trade, but I've always regretted the ones I've let go.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Wow, watch regrets with Bill
It's terrible,
coming
terrible.
soon.
It's a terrible thing. Luckily, I just buy more watches, so it's okay. That solves the pain.
He fills the hole with more watches.
Also, we sell a range of stuff.
Yeah.
From Citizen and Seiko, we carry Squale, which is a little bit more unusual. It's something Derek brought in.
Love Squale.
We brought in Longines yesterday.
Yep.
Fantastic. I love the brand. And we carry Glasuta, and we have Hublot, and we have Tags and
Grand
Breitling.
Seiko.
Grand Seiko, one of my favorite brands. But I'm wearing a Seiko today. A Seiko cocktail.
right on.
A cocktail
Cocktail
one.
time.
And this is the one this is called the Purple Sunset. I love watches. I mean, this is a $400 or $500 watch.
Yeah.
I bought it in Orlando at the last buy we did with Seiko.
Okay.
And it wasn't there. It was only in a picture.
Yeah.
And I just ordered it. Okay, that's fine. It came in, and I took it out of the box, and I put it on my wrist. I said, "Oh, one more," because sometimes it's important to love what you buy.
Yeah.
The rest of it doesn't really matter.
Especially if you look, even if you are looking long lens for value, because that value equation can go either way. If you at least love the piece, like the piece, whatever,
You'll never be unhappy.
you'll never be unhappy.
That's the key.
Yeah.
This is a product that not everybody thinks they need in their life.
Yeah.
But it brings so much joy and a lot of times satisfaction or recognition of a milestone in your life that you can't go wrong with a watch.
Yeah.
People say, well, young people aren't wearing watches. They're wearing Apple watches until they get out of school.
Yeah.
They get into the world,
Yep.
and they get a job, and they look, the boss has got a cool watch. My
next-
coworker's got a cool watch, and it's like, I better get a watch.
The word around the campfire is the next generation coming up is tuning into the hobby.
They are.
They are.
I find that that's very satifying for us.
Absolutely.
We love it. I love to introduce new people to these things and explain what it is they have or what they want or should want. And I like to give them some direction.
This is the watch that I want.
and I have new buyers who come in and they'll start buy, and I always try to get them to slow down a little bit.
Pump the brakes.
Let's build a collection rather than just sell you watches. Let's make sure that your collection makes sense. You don't really need 15 dive watches, right? If you don't have a chronograph or a world time or a perpetual or something else. Because what happens is the buyers become bored. You get bored buying the same thing, not realizing that every one of your watches has a black bezel, black dial, and a folding buckle.
Variety is the spice, and that is the message.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
we love Teflon wrists.
Yes, we do.
I want to say thank you so much for your
My
time,
pleasure.
sir.
Thanks for coming out. We love it.
I love coming out.
Come see us here at Moyer Fine Jewelers.
Moyer Fine Jewelers, Carmel, Indiana. Hobby of Ours approved, a trusted supplier.
Thank you.
Their contact information is in the link is in the description of all of our videos. And if you want half off on the gold sub, ask for Bill, but don't tell Dan. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
And my pleasure. And thank you so much for coming along on the ride in this wonderful, beautiful hobby of ours. We will catch you in the next one. Peace. Pick up a book. 1001 Watch Designs, Volume 1. We've got line art, oil paintings, steampunk, and even super duper realistic ones. Ones that you could probably put on your wrist today. It's a good bit of fun and a great way to share your support. Thanks for coming along on the ride.